Hey guys, welcome back to How's It Doing Garage. Today, we've got some cobbling that needs to be done. So, I don't normally like to use the C word, but sometimes the situation arises. As you know, we moved to Michigan. It's February. It's cold. It keeps snowing. So, we gotta do something with the snow. So, if you've ever lived in an area where it snows, you know that the moment you buy snow removal equipment, snow shovel, snow blower, whatever, you get one or two. Either it quit snowing and you completely wasted your money, or it never stopped snowing and you just you're out there moving snow all the time. So, being it's February, and it's getting towards the end of the season and it still keeps snowing, I'm hoping that with my latest requirement that it's going to quit snowing. So what we have done is my cousin gave me a snow plow. It works, it's beat up, but it's free. So it does need a little bit of work. So we're going to put it back together enough to use it to, plow my driveway and maybe my neighbor's driveway. We're not trying to make $1 million here or anything like that, but it was free. So I spent a couple $100s in steel. So hopefully we can get it, cobbled back together, whatever. But that's what we're going to do today. My cousin's here now. You might be able to hear him out there goofing around with his snowplow. But here's my snowplow. It is old. It is well used. I've already kind of started working on it. This had the bottom blade that when you hit something, the bottom blade kind of kicks out. Well, after so long of being used, they hit something with it, bent it all to hell. So they kind of just welded it all together so it didn't give anymore. So I've already cut that off. And what I'm actually going to do is, since how the bottom of the snowplow is kind of beat up, I've got a 8-inch wide full length piece of 1/4-inch plate. We're just gonna weld it on the bottom and then put a new cutting edge on it. And then, since I'm just gonna be using it to plow my gravel driveway and probably other people's gravel driveway, what I'm gonna do is take a piece of 1-inch schedule 40 pipe and I'm gonna slit it and then slide it over the cutting edge and kind of tack it in a few spots to get it to stay on there. And then if I have to take it off, if it don't work or whatever, I could take it off. But I'm going to put that pipe on the bottom so that way it doesn't dig into the gravel or the grass or whatever and screw stuff up. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to end up putting some feet on it or something like that. But I've seen some stuff on the internet, a guy's putting a little piece of pipe on there and it seems to work out pretty good. So we're going to try and do that. And then the mount, which is over here, this goes on the actual truck. I got to build some frame brackets and everything to bolt that onto my truck. And then, yeah. So we've got a full day ahead of us, and we're going to try and get this on and done today so we can use it tomorrow, because again, it's supposed to snow. But yeah, so we're going to get after it. All right, so Mark's here, right there. He, oh man, look how dirty my face is already. He come to help. So we got everything mostly cleaned off the front of the plow. We got all the added stuff that was put on off. And we got the plate here. We're gonna affix that to the front. We're going to come up 4 inches, and then that'll leave 4 inches on the bottom because it's 8 inches wide. And that'll roughly be how tall the plow was before you put a cutting edge on it. So we'll put that on there, as best we can. And then we're gonna weld the cutting edge on, and then we're gonna put the piece of pipe on. And then we gotta get my truck in here so we can fix the mount to it, which I'm not sure how we're gonna do that yet. So, yeah.
Just west of the river, Mississippi mud running in my veins. And on the road is where I found freedom. And hotel rooms is where I found peace. I spent my whole life running my world. It's gonna be a long way home. It's gonna take.
All right, so we got the cutting edge, or not the cutting edge, but the bottom of the plow clamp back on here. Now we're gonna come in. We're just gonna stitch it on here on the front, and then we'll let the plow down and flip it over, and then I'll weld the back and then flip it back over, and then probably put a little more weld on the front. I'm not gonna weld it all solid. There's really no point in that. So we're just gonna put a little stitches on it now, and then, you know, like I said, flip it over, and then we'll flip it back over and weld the cutting edge on, and then get the piece of pipe on there. Hold the crane, Mark.
Someday I'll put off the road somewhere near East Des Moines, and I'll find that little church my family filled. I spent my whole life running.
Alright, so we've got the plow all fixed up. Got the little piece of pipe on there. I just stitched it on, like I said, just so we can make sure it's gonna work. So if I gotta cut it off, there's not like a whole bunch of labor involved. So now I'm gonna go get my truck, which I don't think any of you guys seen my truck, so I'll show you my truck. And we're gonna pull it in the shop and start figuring out how and where we're gonna mount the mount, and then build brackets and stuff for the frame and whatnot. So we're outside now. It's a little windy out here, so I don't know how well you're gonna be able to hear this, but this is my daily driver truck. I picked this up a little while ago. About time we moved to Michigan. I bought it from my buddy Aaron. It's a 2001 GMC Sierra 2500, 4-wheel drive. It's got a little leveling kit on it, some 20-inch rims, 33s or something. I don't even know what size they are. But anyway, it's got 300,000 miles on it. I drive it every day to work. I bought it, it was cheap. I knew it was gonna get banged up, so I just bought a cheap truck, you know, to drive in the winter up here. But we're gonna put the plow on the front and use it to plow my driveway. So what we're gonna do is I've taken this bolt out of this tow hook here, and I've taken the back one out. What we're gonna do is make a plate that comes down, catches all 4 of these bolt holes for the mount, and then we're gonna bolt it to the side of the frame here. It's gonna come down and around the body mount, and then I'm gonna make another plate that's gonna go on the bottom of the frame and then weld to this plate, and then catch this back bolt in this tow hook. So that way this plate's going to be sandwiched up against the frame, so the plow's not going to be able to rock because it's going to be bolted to the frame, and then it's not going to be able to go back because it's going to be bolted into the tow hook. So it should be plenty strong enough for what we're doing. If we get it all put together and I feel like it's going to need a little more, then we'll probably add some braces to go from the back of the mount back to the frame and bolt somewhere back in there. Turn the camera on and Mark starts making a bunch of racket. Yep. Trying to record and you're making a bunch of racket, Mark. Well, jerk. So this is what we got figured out. So we got this big plate bolted to the side of the frame out here, and then it right over here. Pull the light over. So this big plate bolts to the side up here, and then it comes up and it sandwiches on underneath the body mount. And then this plate here, move the light again. This plate here rides on the bottom of the frame all the way down. I'm gonna weld it here, bzzz, and then it's bolted back here. And then we got this other plate here that's bolted on this side of the frame, and then it's gonna weld here. So, and then obviously the mount's gonna bolt to here. We got some little spacers or whatever, and then I'll trim up this mount so it's not just a big giant square. But yeah, so I'm gonna tack this together and then pull the mount out, weld it all up, and then put it back in, and then mount the mount to the mount. You know what I mean? Yeah, it all makes sense if you say it fast. decent. Yeah, man.
Tamale.
Alright guys, now that it's daylight out, we can kind of see what's going on, and we're outside. It works like a dream, man. My tires are rubbing a little bit. They had to wait from the plow. It's kind of sinking that front end down a little bit, so they're rubbing a little, which you probably heard in the video. But yeah, so I know that the plow was given to me, but I've got, I guess if I kind of sat down and figured out every little piece of steel I needed and then purchased just what I needed, I would probably only have like $100 in steel fixing the bottom of the plow. It came with all the wiring, so I have like no money in wiring. We don't have headlights for the plow right now, because there's a harness that goes in there for the headlights that, you know, you could buy it for like 75 bucks on eBay, but I just haven't had a chance. And honestly, I wasn't quite sure if the plow even worked, so I wasn't going to spend a bunch of money on it. But you can wire in the headlights, like you make your own little harness and do that and save some money. But for now, I'm just gonna plow in the day, I guess. But anyway, other than my plasma cutter, which a lot of people don't really have access to a plasma cutter, you could easily cut all this with a cut-off wheel and, you know, drill with some drill bits and a welder, and you could make your own mount and find a cheap plow that works but might need a little bit of help. And then, you know, for a few $100s, you can have a plow on your truck and start making a little side money. You know, you go plow a couple driveways at 50 bucks a pop, you know, this thing's paid for, and you can start making some profits. But yeah, so hopefully through my struggles, y'all have enjoyed refurbishing this old chunk of iron. So supposed to get a little snow the next couple days, so I'll probably be using the crap out of it. I think I'm gonna go plow my neighbor out right now, because, you know, he's under 2 foot of snow. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me fixing up this old plow, and we'll see you on the next video.